A very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us here on this Thursday morning. I'm John Mayer.
And I'm Lily Taylor. We are this close to Friday. We got some NFL football tonight. Go Steelers. And we have a nice day ahead of us. It's a great day.
Yeah. Unless you walk outside right now. And then it's really,
right
really
now.
cold.
Give it some time.
We're getting there. Chavez, of course, over in the Weather Center. One of the concerns now at this point, not just about trying to get your vehicle going in the morning, you get the frosty scrape off the windshield kind of stuff, but also for folks that might have delicate vegetation out there. I mean, what is this, day 3 or day 4 of frost advisories?
This is now, the third or fourth day that we've had this frost advisory, and just because we see it expire does not mean it's out of the possibility to see it once again being issued. And half the time they're being issued later at night into the early morning hours. So definitely want to make sure that you are taking all the precautions throughout your afternoon to make sure you cover any sensitive vegetation if you've got some in your backyard across the board. That frost advisory, again, as I've mentioned, they are set to expire throughout the later half of the morning, but you could see it there. It was issued at 2 o'clock in the morning, and chances are you were still snuggled up in bed asleep during that time. So throughout the late night hours, you definitely want to make sure you take that precaution out the door. Throughout the area, visibility going to be a bit of a concern. We could see it already in portions of our tower camera out over by the Oakway Center. A little bit of those low level clouds slowly making their way on in. But if you're in areas like North Bend or even Roseburg, we're starting to see about 3 miles of visibility, if not even less than a half a mile out there. So just something to keep in mind, plan accordingly as you head out the door. A frosty start to the morning into the 40s, if not upper 30s we go, hanging on tight to that. All of this ahead of, well, a rather sunny afternoon, but we're seeing the consistency in those 60s. We'll track out that consistent trend coming up in just a bit.
All right, we'll be looking forward to the rest of that coming up. Thanks, Briana. Well, continuing coverage here this morning on the controversial license plate reading cameras is the Eugene Police Department now speaking out on a move to block the use of flock cameras in the city.
Earlier this week, the Eugene City Manager confirmed that flock cameras around the city have been deactivated after the Eugene City Council voted to suggest the move last week. Flock cameras have been controversial in Eugene since the cameras were introduced back in May. They've been the subject of multiple public comment periods, city work sessions, and police commission meetings. The Eugene Police Department argues that these cameras help police officers in a time when resources are already stretched thin.
In this day and age, with fewer human resources and fewer financial resources, a piece of technology that helps us be a force multiplier is important. And so it was disappointing to hear about the recommendation and ultimately have the ALPR cameras paused.
One of the biggest reasons why there's been a push against flock cameras is concerns over privacy. It's a sentiment echoed by federal lawmakers like Senator Ron Wyden. Skinner also sharing his thoughts on those concerns.
I struggle to connect the dots around privacy concerns when you think about what this technology is designed to capture, which is a vehicle and a plate on a vehicle, which is a government-issued plate, and it's on an open public roadway. There's no expectation of privacy. I know that doesn't make it feel any better to feel like you're being watched or being monitored on your comings and goings with your vehicle, but it's not intrusive enough. It's not a violation of those particular protected rights.
Now, this is just a portion of a nearly 15-minute interview with the chief on the decision to disable those flock cameras. That full interview is available on our website.
Meanwhile, over in Springfield, the police department saying their latest investment would help protect officers in high-risk situations. It's a Bearcat Armored Vehicle being approved by City Council. It'll be out on the streets come 2027. We get a look right here at a similar vehicle to the one that SPD would be getting up on your screen. It costs about $400,000, though federal funds from narcotics investigations paying for that vehicle. Manufacturer estimating the armored vehicle will be completed in 18 months.
Actually, we have finally reached a point where we're seeing incidents of a nature. Recently, a few months ago, the fire on 36th Street in Springfield, where rounds were being fired as the house was set ablaze, and waiting for the right resources to get there delayed firefighters' ability to fight that blaze for almost a half an hour. What we need now, now is the right time to invest in the asset. And
now, SPD does say that new armored vehicle won't be putting its current bulletproof Suburbans out of use, but it will just add to the high-risk situations they can ultimately respond to.
Now to the government shutdown. We are now into day 16 and lawmakers no closer to a solution. The Senate once again failed to pass a House passed clean continuing resolution with a final vote of 51 to 44. The White House used unspent funds to pay military troops. House Speaker Mike Johnson says that's a quick fix for now, but he's pointing the finger to Democrats who in turn say the GOP is responsible for the shutdown.
Under his direction, the Department of War has now redirected unspent funds to ensure that our troops are taken care of. And this is while Democrats are playing political games.
Donald Trump and Republicans in Congress have shut down the government 15 days ago. And they haven't done a damn thing since to try and reopen it.
Republicans so far are refusing to meet Democrats' demands on extending health care subsidies in the Affordable Care Act. They say the government should be reopened, then they'll talk.
Now, Oregon Congresswoman Val Hoyle calling out House Republicans as that federal shutdown stretches into a third week, saying the refusal to return to the Capitol is putting working families at risk. Now, Republicans extended the House recess last week. Both parties still locked in that standoff over future health care funding. The core of the fight, the Affordable Care Act subsidies, tax credits that would lower the cost of monthly health insurance premiums that are set to expire come December. Democrats want to extend them before reopening the federal government. During a virtual press conference on Wednesday, Representative Hoyle said she's disappointed Speaker Mike Johnson hasn't called the House into session to negotiate the, quote, very real emergency of rising health care costs, all while the Senate is in session doing committee work.
I talked to the Capitol Police officers and, the other people that are showing up, the staff that are showing up to work, they're not getting paid. And my Republican colleagues who are at home, who are refusing to show up to work, who are refusing to negotiate about lowering costs for the American people, they're just not showing up to work.
Well, Representative Hoyle says Lane County had an uninsured rate of 21% before the Affordable Care Act, and the fear is that number could rise. National Institute of Health saying that as of 2023, the number dropped to 11%. Now, Representative Hoyle says she is staying in Washington and won't be accepting a paycheck until federal workers are paid.